standing. From the class of 2005, Rudy Abbott, Bill Burgess, Glenn Hawkins, and Mr. Mal Street, son of Malcolm Street. From the class of 2006, Terry Henley, Ed Kimbrough, son of Zeke Kimbrough, Mrs. Dorothy Smith, wife of Willie Smith, and James A. Pappy Dunn. And from the class of 2007, Mr. Clyde Bolton, Coach Bill Farrell, Sandy Hunter, and Gary Osteen. Would you give these Hall of Fame members a round of applause? Y'all taking the time to come back and visit with us. I'd like to now recognize our board of directors. These people work extremely hard behind the scenes with a lot of dedication, a lot of time spent to make this banquet possible. And if you would stand as I introduce you and remain standing. Carolyn Matthews, Vice President. Dr. Rodney Fryary, our Treasurer. Francis Shipp, our Secretary. Mike Almarode. Lynn Costner. Joe Eastep. Mike Galloway. Ken Grissom. J.D. Hess, John Holder, our MC for tonight, Don Hudson, and Mark Jones. If you would recognize these folks for their hard work. I'd like to mention the Calhoun County Commissioners. They not only support us financially, but they also, if you go across the street over to the County Administration Building, you'll find a permanent area dedicated to the Hall of Fame, where you can go and visit and see plaques that we'll give to our inductees tonight on display there for everybody in this county and everybody else that wants to go in and see them, and we appreciate that. I'd like to thank our media that are here tonight that came out with us. Obviously, we've sold this event out for 4 years in a row, and we couldn't do that without a lot of support and a lot of coverage. Also, you have recognized some students that are going around and making themselves useful. They do a ton of things for us, and they do a great job. These are students from Weaver High School in these official shirts. Our board of directors, Francis Shipp, is the principal out there, and we really appreciate the job that they do. Tonight you were, I think they did a terrific job. And the music tonight was provided to us by Hodgepodge, and we appreciate the effort that you had, fellows. If you'll direct your attention toward the screen tonight, I'd like to show you what we're presenting our inductees with. They receive a medallion with our Hall of Fame logo on it. They receive an 18x20 plaque that they're able to take home. Also a duplicate of that will be over in the County Administration Building. We have a Hall of Fame watch that we present to them. We have a championship caliber ring. And that additional plaque will also be on display over there 1 week after we get through with our banquet. And compliments of the Anderson Star, we've got a framed copy of the article as it appeared in the paper for each one to take home. Thank you. And what we'd like to do now, I'd like to turn this over to our MC. Our MC tonight is your weatherman on WJXS. He's also the host of Pigskin Roundup on Channel 24. He is at FM 90.7 Grace Radio, a charter member of the Hall of Fame, John Holder.
Good evening. Thank you, Coach Jones. You know, it doesn't matter if it's been a cold Friday night at a high school football stadium in our area. Maybe you're in one of those hot packed gymnasiums. Maybe it was a spring day out at the baseball field. It really doesn't matter. Maybe it was even off the court or off the field. Each one of our inductees tonight has created a lot of memories for each and every one of us that are gathered here tonight. You know, it's really about more than just memories. They have also impacted by the great memories that they created for us on the field and the impact that they had on a lot of folks off the field. They really improved our quality of life and brought a lot of fame and recognition back here to Calhoun County. So join me tonight as we recognize these Calhoun County legends. And our first inductee tonight is Eric Davis.
Eric Davis. At Anniston High School, Davis played quarterback and defensive back for Johnny Ingram, was a 2-year starter in basketball, and also excelled at track. In 1985, following his senior season, Davis was a first-team All-County choice as a defensive back. Defensive back was also his position at Jacksonville State University, where Davis was a 4-year letterman. As a senior, Davis was a first-team All-Gulf South Conference performer as Jacksonville State led the conference in passing defense. Jacksonville State won the Gulf South Conference title, advanced to the NCAA Division II National Championship game, and finished 13-1. In the 1990 National Football League draft, Davis was selected by the San Francisco 49ers in the second round. He played in all 16 games for San Francisco that year, but was limited to 2 games in 1991 by a shoulder injury. From 1992 through 1995, he started every game for the 49ers. In 1994, Davis had 4 postseason interceptions as San Francisco won Super Bowl 29. In the Super Bowl win, Davis recorded an interception and 6 tackles. In 1995, his final season in San Francisco, Davis was named first-team All-Pro and chosen for the Pro Bowl. From 1996 through 2000, Davis was a starting cornerback for the Carolina Panthers. He was chosen for the Pro Bowl again in 1996. In each of his 5 seasons with the Panthers, Davis recorded 5 interceptions. His 25 interceptions make him the all-time interception leader for the Carolina franchise. Davis closed his NFL career with 1 season in Denver in 2001 and 1 season in Detroit in 2002. Over his 13-year career, Davis had 38 interceptions, forced 14 fumbles, recovered 12 fumbles, made 591 tackles, and assisted on 66 other stops. Since his retirement, Davis has volunteered as a coach at high schools in North Carolina and California and at a small college in California. Davis is a member of the Jacksonville State Athletic Hall of Fame.
Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming to the 2008 Calhoun County Sports Hall of Fame, Eric Davis.
Well, good evening, everyone. I want to say thank you to Bill Jones. I want to say thank you to the entire Calhoun County Sports Hall of Fame committee. Thank you to the members of the Hall of Fame, and congratulations to all of tonight's inductees. I personally truly believe that it's impossible for anyone to accomplish anything substantial alone, and I was very fortunate to have a great support group. I want to thank my parents, Nathaniel and Johnny Davis, that gave me guidance, support, and the confidence to know that nothing could make you feel inferior without its permission, and that I was capable of accomplishing anything. I want to thank my older siblings, Nate, Felicia, Milton, who's not here, but their example showed me that, guess what my parents were saying, it worked. Follow it. Don't be the knucklehead. Things will turn out okay for you. But they also allowed me to follow my own drummer and do my own thing and see that that was okay as well. I want to thank my younger sister, Carmelita, who has painstakingly waited for me to turn 40 so that she could nominate me for this award, so that she could let everyone know out loud how much she loves me and how proud she is of me, and I want to thank her for that. Every day of my life, she's always let me know that, and that's my best friend there. I'd like to thank some of the coaches. I can't thank them all, I had a lot of them. But in this room tonight, Coach Bill Burgess is here, and that's someone that took the role of father figure when I went to Jacksonville, and everything that he ever told me, he stood by, and he asked me to do the same thing. You're accountable for your actions, and he helped a group of young men grow up and be responsible and learn to take care of the things they're supposed to take care of. I want to thank my beautiful wife, Serena, who has been with me my entire adult life and has allowed me to focus on the things I wanted to accomplish, sometimes to a fault. But she's always been there by my side, letting me learn, letting me fail, giving me the strength to get through any and everything. And I think we make the best team ever and can accomplish anything. I also want to say thank you to my kids for being as good as you are. My son, I'm going to stand here because I have a chance to tell everyone I'm proud of him. He just signed a full scholarship to go and play football at the University of Akron. And I also want to tell everyone that my kids, the young ones, Erica, Nico, and Daniel, today is their birthday, and they gave up a party to fly from California to be here, and they didn't complain. And I'm not going to embarrass them and sing happy birthday right now. But I just wanted to acknowledge that. And in closing, I had a conversation with a family friend, Jeff Brown, tonight. And in that conversation, he made a comment to me about something. And it touched me, and it held true then, and it really holds true right now. I was very fortunate in my career to reach certain goals and accomplish certain things, and to have people, pat me on the back and say, that was good, what you just did. But to have it happen here at home, in my backyard, to have the people that I grew up with, that saw me, even in some of those pictures that they put up, to say, you know what, you did okay. We know everything about you. We saw all the trials. We saw you learn. And you know what, kid, you did all right. That really means a lot to me. It touches me truly, and I'm honored. Thanks.
Our next inductee this evening is Tom Bible.
Tom Bible. Bible was a four-sport letterman during his high school sports career at Piedmont. He lettered in baseball twice before turning to track during the spring. He was a 3-year letterman in track, and in 1958, as a junior, he was 5th overall in the first Alabama High School Athletic Association decathlon. In basketball, he was both All-County and All-District. Bible achieved his greatest sports success in football, a sport he played for 3 years at Piedmont. He was a lineman most of his high school career. In his senior season, Bible moved to the backfield in Piedmont's single-wing offense. He was a first-team All-County pick and added All-State recognition to his list of honors. As a senior, he was a co-captain in football. Piedmont finished 9-1 that year, avenging its only loss during the regular season with a 26-6 win over Welborn in the Turkey Bowl. His success at Piedmont attracted the attention of a host of college football coaches, but Bible chose to accept a scholarship offer from Paul Bear Bryant and the University of Alabama. As a freshman, he returned to the line as a guard. Injuries limited his playing opportunities during his sophomore season. As a junior in 1961, he lettered on Alabama's national championship team at tackle, playing behind All-American Billy Neighbors. During spring practice, Bible earned first-team status at right tackle. He was considered particularly valuable because of his ability to play both tackle and guard. All of his accomplishments came despite a hearing loss in one ear. Bible never experienced the promise of what was expected to be his finest season at Alabama. On a fishing and swimming trip to a creek near Mobile, where his parents had moved, Bible drowned on June 12, 1962. He was 21 years old. Tom was one of the finest kids I ever knew and one of the best athletes I ever had the privilege to coach. Bill Farrell, the man who coached Bible in high school, said at the time. He was never a problem in athletics, in school, or in his private life. He always tried to do what was right. All of his days, he did nothing except reflect credit on his mother and his father and all of them who loved him. It is an obligation. He paid it high honor, wrote Benny Marshall, then sports editor of the Birmingham News.
On behalf of the Board of Directors, the Calhoun County Sports Hall of Fame is pleased to induct into the class of 2008 Tom Bible. Accepting will be Sybil Darcy, Tom Bible's sister.
It's an honor and a privilege to accept this Calhoun County Sports Hall of Fame Award on behalf of the Thomas Bible family. I would like to thank Coach Bill Jones and the committee for this selection. Also my special friend Teresa Rankin Kaiser for the nomination. I would like to express my appreciation to Kenneth Grissom for his help and time in the preparation of this night. My son, my granddaughter, my grandson, who's named after Thomas, and Thomas is his hero. Our sister, Mary Jo McCurdy, Aunt Faye, who's 96, Aunt Annie, nieces, nephews, cousins, and friends, we're all here to celebrate this most special occasion. Certainly, Thomas is deserving of this recognition. He was the best person I ever knew. He was loving and caring, and he had a way of making everyone feel special, except on the football field. His motto in high school was this: I am white but deadly, and he was. Thomas made a success of a life that most would have found difficult. Along with his own determination and his talent, he found help from many individuals. Coach Howard Walter, Coach Bill Farrell, Superintendent W.H.Z. Kimbrough, Ophelia Rankin, who showed Thomas and I great love and kindness. Also the late Mr. and Mrs. G.T. Hilbert and their daughter Lyndall. She was the love of his life. After a successful high school sports career, Thomas earned the University of Alabama football scholarship and gained the support of the legendary Paul Bear Bryant. Thomas excelled in the sports arena and helped more Thomas' success for the future years. Tom and I shared a special bond. He was 16 months older than me. Our mother died when I was 5 weeks old. Tom was everything to me. He was not only a brother, he was my mother, my daddy, and my best friend. Thomas drowned June the 12th, 1962, while fishing with our nephew, Gary Wayne McCurdy, a child of 8 years old. Gary, Tom would be so proud of you as I am of the person you've made of yourself. We were devastated when Thomas left us. Our only consolation then and now is the knowledge that we were privileged to know and love Thomas, whose life and sports career made his short years count. Our family was left with a void that could never be filled. We take comfort in the fact that a part of Tom continues to live in our hearts and in the recognition given by the Calhoun County Sports Hall of Fame. We give God the glory for letting Thomas's light shine after all these years. I'd like to close with a poem. So many days have passed and yet the memories remain, and still of soft and silent night you come to us again. We see you as we knew you once, you see the smile, and then we see ourselves at your side as often as it had been. And we return the smile you give and cherish in our hearts the thought that we had days to share before we had to part. And we find that time is not a race, nor has its passage pale. That warmth we held for you in life, that love has never failed. And also, dear brother, we keep you close, although we're apart, and visit with you daily in the visions of our heart. May God bless you all, and thank you very much.
Our next inductee this evening is Larry Gable.
Larry Gable. Gable was a two-year starter in football at halfback for Anniston High School in 1957 and 1958, his junior and senior seasons. As a junior in Billy Bancroft's final season as coach, his 65-yard run with less than 4 minutes to play set up Anniston's tying touchdown against Welborn. He scored twice again as the Bulldogs defeated Shades Valley and scored the winning touchdown against Etowah County with less than 2 minutes left in the game. As a senior, Gable played for Freeman Bulldog Johnson. He ran for 2 touchdowns against Robert E. Lee, and 1 week later rushed for 273 yards and 3 touchdowns against Emma Sansom. Against Etowah County, Gable completed 2 touchdown passes. His prowess in football notwithstanding, Gable's best sport was baseball. He was a pitcher and outfielder at Anniston from 1957 through 1959. In 1958, his junior season, Anniston captured its first and only Alabama High School Athletic Association State Baseball Championship. The championship came in the last of Bancroft's 12 seasons as coach at Anniston. Anniston was 15-0, entering the 2 of 3 state championship series against Central of Phoenix City, but lost the first game on the road. The series moved to Anniston the next day. Gable kept Anniston's championship hopes alive with a 7-inning no-hitter in the first game of a doubleheader won by the Bulldogs 2-0. He struck out 11 and walked 1. In the second game, Gable returned to the mound for another 7 innings and won 7-0 on a 3-hitter. He struck out 5 and retired the final 9 batters. In 6 playoff games, Gable pitched 5 shutouts and struck out 63 opponents in 42 innings. After graduation from Anniston in 1959, Gable received the first full baseball scholarship ever offered to a freshman by Auburn University. A year later, Gable signed a professional baseball contract with the Pittsburgh Pirates. He pitched in Pittsburgh's minor league system for 3 years. Gable played 8 more years in the minors with the Cincinnati Reds organization, the last 5 with the Tampa Tarpons. Gable continued to attend Auburn during baseball's offseason and received his undergraduate degree in 1964. He coached high school baseball in Florida for several years before becoming a school administrator.
Calhoun County Sports Hall of Fame. Very pleased to induct into the class of 2008, Larry Gable. Accepting for Larry Gable tonight is his brother, Carter Gable.
About 3.5 hours ago, I found out that I was supposed to do this. Because Larry's son, Mark, was on his way from Georgia and had car trouble. So I don't have a speech to give, but I have talked to Larry, and he said he wanted to let the Calhoun County people and the board to know what a great honor it is to him to get this award. Not only is it a great honor for Larry, it's a great honor for the Gable family. I mean, I was proud to do this, even though I'm not a speaker. But one thing I would want to say, the ball game they was talking about, I remember that like it was, well, 10 years ago. The reason I remember it, Larry was the 5th son. We had 5 boys and 2 girls. Is that right, Joyce? 7 kids. And for a long time, I didn't realize that a father was just supposed to have one job. Because my daddy, growing up, I remember always 2 jobs. He had a friend one time that had a paper route. And the friend got sick and was going to lose his job if he did not get somebody to run the route for him. So Daddy agreed. The day that the ball game with Phoenix City was started, Daddy and I was out delivering papers. And I can remember Daddy saying, we got to hurry, we're going to miss the game. We did hurry, but as we pulled up in the parking lot at Johnson Field, we heard the crowd, people yelling, and Daddy said, Carter, we've missed it. So we walked in, and one of Daddy's friends came up, Bud Trapp. I never will forget that. Come on. He pitched a no-hitter. And boy, of course, that made us feel good, even though we felt bad about seeing the game. Not having any idea that Larry was going to pitch the second game. I was standing over behind the beach when Greg Croft said, you got 7 more. Of course, now Larry didn't do as good in that second game. Because, he pitched a 3-hitter and a shutout, not a no-hitter. Oh, he did knock a home run. But I've always been proud of my big brother, and I wish he could be here to see this tonight, because I can tell the board had put a lot into this. My sister Joyce, my brother Rodney, I know they feel as proud as I do right now. Thank you.
Our next inductee tonight is Howard Waldrop.
Howard Waldrop Jr. Waldrop played football in high school, but basketball was the sport in which he excelled. He was a 2-year starter for F.L. Bulldog Johnson at Anniston High School. In 1948-49, Waldrop's senior season, Anniston was 22-4, and Waldrop was named first-team All-Tournament at the 6th District Tournament. Following graduation from Anniston in 1949, Waldrop went to Snead Junior College in Boaz on a basketball scholarship. Military combat service in the Korean conflict interrupted his time at Snead. After his discharge from the Army, Waldrop returned to Alabama and enrolled at Jacksonville State. As a sophomore in 1952-53, Waldrop was a member of the Jacksonville State team that defeated Alabama's Southeastern Conference champion Rocket 18. In both his junior and senior seasons, Waldrop led Jacksonville State in scoring. In 1953-54, he averaged 22.6 points. In 1954-55, his average was 17.9. As a junior, Waldrop scored 36 points in one half against Livingston State and led his team in free throw shooting, hitting 90.3% of his attempts. Both marks remain JSU records more than 50 years later. After graduating from Jacksonville State, Waldrop became head basketball coach and assistant football coach at Piedmont. During his 12-year tenure as basketball coach, Waldrop's Piedmont teams were 192 and 92. In 1960-61, the Bulldogs were runner-up in the 6th District Class A tournament and won their first 2 games in the AHSAA state tournament before finishing 4th. Waldrop's 1965-66 Piedmont team won the Calhoun County basketball tournament, defeating Oxford, Alexandria, and Anniston in succession. Waldrop ended his coaching career after one more season. He was an administrator at Piedmont for 2 years, then became principal at Welborn, where he served for 25 years. While at Welborn, Waldrop served on the Alabama High School Athletic Association's Central Board of Control for 12 years. He is a member of the Jacksonville State University Athletic Hall of Fame and the Alabama High School Sports Hall of Fame.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the Calhoun County Sports Hall of Fame, Howard Waldrop.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I have been very emotional all day today. When I picked up the Anniston Star and I saw all these comments about these players, ex-players that played for me, it kind of got next to me. You know, so most times when you have ex-players, they don't like to say too much about you if you've been too mean. So I must have been pretty good, and I appreciate it. I like to begin with tonight by telling you how overwhelmed I am to be inducted in the Calhoun County Hall of Fame, and I'm deeply appreciative to Coach Bill Jones and the others on the committee for recognizing me with honor. Of all my accomplishments as a soldier, athlete, coach, father, and also a grandfather, I'm proud of the fact that I never forgot where I came from. Tonight I am humbled by the county that has not forgotten me. First and foremost, I need to recognize my wife, because you know, if you don't recognize me, you'll get a Father's Day present. I'd like to say this about my wife. She and I have been married 57 years. Now, and I've shared every minute of it through the good and through the bad. But you know, I see some of you out there trying to figure up the math and trying to figure out how old I am. I'm gonna hit it. We got married when I was 12 and she was 10. And behind every good man, there's always a good woman. I'd like to thank my daughter Martha and her husband Doug for supporting me and giving me 2 grandchildren that I'm proud of and that I love so much. My grandchildren have taught me that each day is a new day, and they are teaching Martha and Doug a lesson that I have tried to teach them. My saying is, nobody said it was going to be easy. I was fortunate in my life to have been surrounded by great coaches. I'd like to mention them, Coach Bulldog Johnson at Anderson High School and Coach Tom Robinson at Jacksonville State University. They were awesome individuals and helped me build a foundation for the rest of my life. To them, I'll always be indebted. And I would say this about them, all the years that I played under them, I never heard one of them say a curse word. But one night I was talking to a butcher club, and I made mention, I said, you know, my Coach Johnson and Coach Tom Robinson never said a curse word and the whole time I was playing. But one of my former students, athletes, stood up back there and said, well, Coach, you made up for both of them. I'm also privileged to be entering the Hall of Fame tonight with an inductee I helped coach in high school, Tom Bauer. Tom and I were janitors and grass cutters and maintenance people at Piedmont High School. One summer we fished together, we hunted together, and the memories of Tom will never leave me. I've always kept those memories and the fact of my mind about an outstanding athlete and person he was. In closing, I'd like to thank all the students, faculty, staff members, coaches, and friends that have stood by me all these years and helped me. And I'd like to say again to Coach Jones and the nominating committee, thanks. And I'd like to say to the Calhoun County, thank you for not forgetting me. Thank you.
Tonight's next inductee is Ray Vinson.
Ray Vinson. As a senior in 1962, Vinson quarterbacked Oxford to a 13-7 victory over Anniston, the Yellow Jackets' first win over the Bulldogs in football since 1920. Oxford ended the season 7-1-2, losing only to Welborn in the Calhoun County Championship game. During the regular season, Vinson passed for 2 touchdowns and rushed for 1 in 3 different games, wins over Piedmont, Welborn, and Sacs. In Oxford's 26-20 victory over Talladega, he passed for 1 touchdown and returned a kickoff 80 yards for another score. For the year, Vinson scored 15 times, passing for 7 touchdowns, rushing for 6 touchdowns, returning 1 kickoff for a touchdown, and 1 interception for a touchdown. He was a unanimous choice for the all-county football team. During the next 4 years, Vinson became one of the most versatile players in Jacksonville State University football history. As a freshman running back, Vinson led Jacksonville State in rushing with 723 yards and in passing with 483 yards. In his sophomore season, he moved to wide receiver and defensive back. As a senior in 1966, Vinson intercepted 10 passes. That accomplishment remains a Jacksonville State record. His 103-yard kickoff return in Jacksonville State's 27-6 win over Troy State in 1966 also remains a Gamecock record. Following the 1966 season, Vinson was named by the Associated Press as a first-team Little All-American. Over the course of his 4-year career at Jacksonville State, Vinson returned 62 kickoffs for 833 yards and 66 punts for 502 yards. The Gamecocks won outright or shared 4 Alabama Collegiate Conference championships during his tenure. Vinson is a member of the Jacksonville State University Athletic Hall of Fame.
The Board of Directors of the Calhoun County Sports Hall of Fame pleased to welcome to the class of 2008, Ray Vinson.
Mr. Davis, in his speech, hit the nail right on the head. No football player can do anything on a football field by himself. Takes teammates, coaches, and supporters. I would like to say thanks to all my high school teammates, my college teammates, and the guys I played with after college in several places. But I would like to thank Coach Buddy White, head coach Jack Brazard from high school, Coach Sauls from Jacksonville, and Jim Blevins. Without those guys, I never would have played football. They used to call me competitive. Football was fun. I enjoyed playing. Had a good time. And I appreciate the honors bestowed on me. I would also like, well, let me tell you a story. That all three coaches said you don't need to be reading the newspaper during the season. So I made a deal with my mother to save all the newspaper articles. And I read them at the end of every season. The coaches said that, it's not good. Half of it's not true anyway. But I want to tell Rudy Abbott and George Smith, thank you very much, and I believed every word you wrote.
Our final inductee tonight is Dr. Ken Hutcherson.
Ken Hutcherson. Hutcherson began his football career at Anniston High School, where he played fullback on offense and linebacker on defense. In 1969, his senior season at Anniston, he scored the winning touchdown in Anniston's homecoming comeback win over Talladega and helped the Bulldogs to their best finish in 4 years. That year, Hutcherson was first-team All-County as a linebacker. He was chosen to play in the Alabama High School Athletic Association's North-South All-Star game after his senior season at Anniston and served as a team captain. From Anniston, Hutcherson went to Livingston University, now the University of West Alabama, where he made his presence felt almost immediately. In 1971, his sophomore season, Livingston won the National Association of Intercollegiate Athletics, NAIA, National Football Championship. Hutcherson was a starter at linebacker and led the Tigers in tackles in their semifinal win over West Liberty. While at Livingston, Hutcherson was named All-Gulf South Conference and All-Alabama Small College in both 1972 and 1973. In 1972, he was one of 2 unanimous All-Conference choices and was voted Gulf South Defensive Player of the Year. He was a first-team NAIA All-American in 1972, averaging 12 solo tackles and 9 assists per game. Hutcherson was an honorable mention All-American in 1973. After completing his college career, he played in the 1973 Senior Bowl. Hutcherson was a 4th-round draft pick by the Dallas Cowboys in the 1974 National Football League draft. That fall, he played in all 14 games for the Cowboys as a reserve linebacker. With the San Diego Chargers in 1975, injuries limited him to 8 games. The Seattle Seahawks drafted Hutcherson in the 1976 expansion draft. He was projected to start at linebacker until a knee injury in the Seahawks' final preseason game ended his football career. Hutcherson was named the Livingston University Player of the Decade for the 1970s and was inducted into the University of West Alabama Hall of Fame in 1985.
Please join the Board of Directors of the Calhoun County Sports Hall of Fame in welcoming Dr. Ken Hutcherson to the Calhoun County Sports Hall of Fame.
There are no words that you can ever say that can express the emotion, feelings of success, the friends, the coaches, the family that is with us this evening. It has been a long road of struggles, been a long road of failure, been a long road of successes. And when I was coming here, I thought for the first time, Jesus Christ could be wrong. He said, a prophet has no honor in his own hometown. And up until last night, that statement had been proven wrong until I looked into the Anderson Star, where there was half a page, Ken Hutcherson, but it was my teammate in the picture. So again, Jesus, I submit to your honesty. And to the Anderson Star, you stink. I am so excited about being able to be honored with all of you. That is a privilege that is hard to explain, it's hard to express, and will never be really given in words. My greatest honor is because of my family, my mother. I was an illegitimate child. And if I was born in a world today, I would probably have been aborted. My mother turned 15, July 6, 1952, and I was born July 14, July 14, 1952. Everyone says, if you keep this child, your life will probably be messed up. My grandmother had a different idea. And she made my mother raise this big old horse. I was almost 12 pounds when I was born to a 15-year-old. And your response was the same one my mom had. She never had another child. I am the only child born totally in a society, in a family, in a country, in a city, where there was absolutely nothing that was supposed to be good for me. I was born in Anderson, Alabama, where it was one of the most prejudiced places you could ever think about when I was born in 1952. I wasn't supposed to be successful. I was born to a poor family, illegitimate, where there was absolutely, by all the psychologists, no way I should have been successful. I was born to an alcoholic grandparent who my mom and I lived with, who came home every weekend, and we fought like cats and dogs. And my uncle and my aunts, well, sometimes had to wrestle him down and tie him up and put him in bed just so that there could be some peace in our home. With that type of psychological identity, with that type of express and stress on a young man, there is absolutely no way in our society today that says that young man coming out of that dysfunctional home. But you know what? I never knew I was in a dysfunctional home. I never knew that I wasn't loved. I never knew that I didn't have a grandparent who loved Jesus Christ so much and would pray. And I heard her say over and over again, I married him for better or for worse. Right now, it just happens to be worse. And my grandmother laid the foundation of a young man who thought that life was crazy, and living in Alabama as a black person was absolutely the worst thing that a God could ever do. Until I met Jesus Christ personally, my senior year in high school. Now, my high school coach, Coach John O'Linga, and Murray Truman, was the first examples of what I thought when I first started in high school ball, as someone that was full of excellence. My coach loved me. I know it wasn't easy for him, but he loved me. He showed me the examples of sticking to it, believing that you can win regardless of the odds. You stick to it, you will make it. And I don't know if you know who Coach John O'Linga was, but he was the reason for the great quarterback. He was the center for Joe Namath at the University of Alabama. And he came and became the center of a father in my life in high school. I left there and went to Livingston University at the time, and my coach tonight is here. Jim King. And in the book of Hebrews, chapter 12, verse 1 and 2, it says, since you are encompassed by such a great crowd of witnesses, I can tell you without a shadow of a doubt that because of my teammates that are here tonight, who helped me become the All-American that I am, and I was, the coaches that is here tonight, that was my witnesses. To the other inductees and the other winners, who is my witnesses. And you, I promise, watch us, for we are not finished on being and making you proud of who we are. For I believe that God has a great work for us still. And the state of Alabama, I promise you, if God keeps me on this earth long enough, you will see and experience what one man, overriding all that God has done, out of all the negative circumstances, out of all the instances that have come in my life that gave me the opportunity to give up. But Jesus Christ helped me to stay focused and to stay forward. And one man, Don Sprayberry, who had enough insight that that young man, if he could be turned around, prayed for me every day for 3 years without me knowing it. and because of he and his wife Ann, and because of young men like Jim Smith, and because of people like Betty Carr, who reached over the line and said there's potential there. Only thing we need to do is to make sure it is loved and encouraged. And I encourage all of you, you find someone that the world says can't be successful and prove them wrong. Thank you so much.
Before I turn things over to Coach Jones and we close out the induction ceremonies this evening, a couple of people that I would like to thank personally. One, the person responsible for putting this video presentation together tonight, Mr. Matt Wilson. And also all the words that you heard on the videos, all the words that are on the plaques, and the write-up that you have in your program tonight, that is all courtesy of Mr. Joe Eastep. At this time, I'll turn the program back over to Coach Jones.
Well, I'd just like to say I hope you had a great time tonight. We certainly enjoyed presenting this class to you. I think it's a worthy class. Appreciate you giving them a standing ovation to extend that to them. We appreciate you coming from long distances to be with us tonight. And I hope they enjoyed it also. I hope you had a great time. And our banquet next year will be set for the 20th of June. We hope you have an opportunity to come out, and as you go home tonight, be safe, and God bless you.
Well, you know, you didn't have that. Just let it grow, that's it, you know. It's still free, just let it grow and come back. You cut it off, start over. You live on the beach down, tell it.
There we go, Kent, right there. Now, don't get it on me, I want to get my picture. Come on, Ed, big man. All right, if y'all can smile, look right here, or is everybody ready? Ken, you ready? You sure Adrian didn't slip in this picture? All right, we'll just do it one more time. All right, 1, 2, 3.
They had a picture of Manny and Grant.
Let me kind of explain that. What's going to happen now. The families are already in their seat. We're going to go to the head table. And we have a place to sit up there, obviously. We have a picture of what ran in the youth family. Although we'll change yours out.
Thank you.
I don't expect you to hold on that, but I would like you to hold the plaque. And I've got a place there for a picture that you'll see when you go up there.
Home and the people that you grew up with that saw you make your start, saw the ups and downs, and saw you develop into a player, for them to say, hey, you're one of ours, and kid, you did okay.
Is just for the sake of the number, how many folks do you have here celebrating?
I have no idea, because I don't even know if everyone's here. I still see people coming in right now as we're conducting this little talk right here. I see someone pointing behind you, so I don't know how many people are here just yet. But again, like I said, I'm very proud of this honor. It's great to have my family around and friends to come in and see me and say job well done. Because again, like I said, it's nice when it's the people that you grew up with that are saying, as opposed to some stranger saying that saw you play a game. You know, this family and friends that know everything about you, and they're saying, hey, you know, guy, you did okay, and we're proud of you, and that makes me feel good.
Thanks, Eric.
Hey, George, I never have got to the table before you.
I knew you were.